Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Wannabes podcast. I'm Morgan, and these are my co-hosts, Luke and Dreaded. I've missed you guys. We've taken a break because of the holidays.
Yeah, I haven't seen you guys in a minute.
Yeah. Been a bit of
But I'm
time.
excited.
Holidays is always usually a busy time for people, so, some things happen.
That's very true.
You guys just don't like me and just need the excuse to not look at me for a while.
I know you ain't talking to the guy who didn't show up to the holiday party.
Oh, I'll tell you firsthand. You two. Love you both very much. I look forward to these shows every week.
Nice save. So first things first, everybody, happy holidays and especially a happy new year since we are kicking off the new year specifically today, the first day of 2025, with a movie review of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a movie we've been talking about all of 2024. So
day one, you're spending it with us.
Yeah. But before we dive into our news, because we do have a few things of news to talk about, especially a trailer out there, we have an announcement. I'm so excited for it. So everybody, we're super excited to announce that it's official. We have a merch store. So this is in partnership with The True Tash, which is my own streaming service. Or my streaming service. I wish I was a streaming service. My own streaming platform. Same with French Kitty, My Tech Show Techeries, and the Wannabes podcast. We're all together. We've created an awesome merch store where you can find all of our merchandise in one spot for you. And this is all because we're all a part of the streaming crew, which is a fun group of us who we all stream together. But let's show you some of the Wannabe stuff. I'm so excited. This is obviously my pick. It's a Don't Forget the Popcorn t-shirt. And yeah, we got the little emote that everybody knows from our chat, as well as a next time don't forget the popcorn on the sleeve. There's a bunch of fun other stuff out there. Hats, shirts, hoodies, socks. I really like those socks. And I'm not even a big socks person. But
I'm going to be repping some shit on this show.
We are super, super excited to finally announce that the merch store is live and is available for all of your lovely faces out there. But to celebrate the store launch, we actually have 10% off going on right now, which you can see on the top bar of that merch store. It says, use code DACREW10 at checkout for 10% off of your order. So we have the link in chat for you guys, as well as what that code is. It's on the website. You can copy and paste it in checkout. But yeah, we're so excited to be bringing this to you guys, and I can't wait for our own merchandise to show up, because we're going to be wearing that shit.
Hell yeah.
This is a long time coming. Morgan has been doing a lot of work. So yeah,
yes.
Show some love. Check everything out.
The goat.
I love it so much.
I'm excited. I said before we started, I need that link. I need to.
I sent you that.
I need
link.
to get this out there.
You got it. I don't think you've seen it, but you got it. It's in our group chat.
Oh yeah, I can just take it right there.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so thrilled. And guys, there will be in the future probably limited editions that come out that you can only get at certain specific times. So like special holiday runs for future holiday sessions. We'll have more merchandise available in the future. But for now, we are really excited for what we already have out for you guys. And yeah, I'm so psyched. I've been like keeping it quiet from the guys, because like we talked about it and then I just started working on it, and it was officially like, hey, guess what?
I have surprise.
I have surprise.
Where are they? You did good, Mama. You did good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is great.
All right, then. So are we ready to dive into, honestly, just our one thing we should talk about, because it's the biggest thing, honestly.
Let me switch over to our news segment.
Yeah.
News. What's our news?
All right, y'all. So we about 13 days late. Unlucky number, whatever. But we officially have our first trailer, our first look into the new world of DC. That's right, James Gunn's Superman. Just titled Superman. No more like Superman Legacy, whatever they were going to call it. It's just Superman
Man of Steel.
Nah. Although that was a dope ass title, I ain't gonna lie. And we have our first look at it. and Morgan actually just recently watched it from beginning to end in its full. I saw it the first day it came out. Luke, when did you first catch it?
I think the day it came out.
Mm-hmm. So, and first things first, let's discuss how do we feel.
I'm actually curious how you two feel. I want to go last, especially I know you are the most passionate, Anthony. So I really want you to fucking let me know how you feel.
I'm
Okay.
gonna start off with just saying it doesn't look awful, but it doesn't look exactly what I guess we're used to. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna rip off the band-aid and say he's not Henry Cavill. I miss my Henry Cavill.
I know I do too.
I was very excited to see what is
Right.
it, Crypto Dog or Crypto, whatever it's called.
Crypto.
Yeah,
Crypto.
I was very surprised to see Crypto. I didn't know we were gonna be getting Crypto in this one. Nathan Fillion's wig is awful, but I love Nathan Fillion, so sploosh, I'm happy he's in it.
Well, he's supposed to be like that, isn't he? Which Green Lantern is that?
What the hell is that dude's name? Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not a favorite.
it's fine. I'm just not a fan of the wig. But it's Nathan Fillion, so I'll be fine with it.
All right, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Go
please.
for it. Rip it apart.
Well, I have some news because I'm not even gonna rip it apart. I think it looks fine. All right. The biggest compliment I'm going to give it right now is that at least James Gunn isn't veering too much away with why I thought the filmmaking on some DC movies were spectacular. It still looks like, okay, they're still kind of in that realm. It doesn't look like it was filmed like a Marvel film. It still looks like it's filmed differently, actually. Not Snyder, not completely Snyder-like, but, it's still kind of taking inspiration for how they did their cinematography. So I like that. Now, yes, I miss Henry. I love Henry Cavill as Superman a lot. But I always kept saying before anything came out, let's give everything, let's see what it looks like.
Sure.
Because I still miss my DCEU, even though they made some mistakes, they made some cool shit, but whatever. The costume, I don't think I love, but I don't think I fully hate either. I think I got too used to no trunks on Superman, so I'm like, damn, when I think about it, looks kind of better. Nathan Fillion does not look very good either. That wig is terrible. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, however, looks actually really
surprisingly good. Looks really good. Yep. Better than I thought.
There's not a whole lot. Crypto's in this movie. Like, oh yeah, I forgot they were saying Crypto was going to be in this movie. So there's that. Hawk Girl's here. He's fighting some lava breathing or fire breathing monster. So in my eyes, the film looks fine. It doesn't look like it's going to be some piece of shit. But once Luke gets to this point out, I want to get into why I really wanted to discuss this trailer, actually. So yeah, my opinion, it looks fine. I don't think it's going to be that bad. So Luke, what do you think?
I like the trailer. I'm actually looking forward to seeing this. I don't know. I'm never really been that big of a Superman fan anyway, but I can definitely get on board with what they're trying to do here. And I don't even think it's just because it's James Gunn. All right, let me just say that. But I think they do finally have somebody that knows what they're doing behind the wheel. You know what I mean? Like if Zack Snyder could have just made Superman movies, I think that would have been fine. But giving him the reins to a huge overarching, Avenger style thing, I think his ideas were just too big. This feels like James Gunn is just focusing on Superman and that's it. And he's not going to try and reinvent the wheel. It seems like he very much understands at least what I'm getting out of it, what people want in a Superman movie anyway. And that's why they play. I just got done watching it too again. And that's why they keep playing the Christopher Reeve Superman thing. Like that is the definitive Superman film still to this day, I believe. Like that's the one that everybody goes to. That is the good Superman film. So he's trying to invoke that. I think just from the trailer, it looks like he pulled it off. And because there's Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and what's the dude, Mr. Fantastic, whatever the fuck.
Oh, what the hell is that dude's name? Hold on.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I just saw his name. What is that dude's name? Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific, thank you. And I think that that's going to be a nice little branching off for it to lead into a bigger cinematic universe. But overall, I think this is going to be a pretty good Superman film first and foremost. And it seems like it from the trailer. So yeah, I'm on board. I just look. I just want them to be consistent. And if this is where it gets started, great. Because I think the biggest thing that has hampered Warner Brothers DC shit is they just get in their own way. So if for
Yep.
whatever reason they finally decide we're just gonna leave James Gunn alone and let him do whatever he wants to do, I think that's just gonna pay dividends for them. And like it looks like they're on the right track from what I've seen.
Hopefully they
getting-
trust the process. Go
We're
ahead,
Yeah.
Morgan.
we're getting Cara Zor-El as well.
Well, okay,
Oh, really?
one more thing
According
that we
to
can't.
the IMDb, and it's by a relatively newer actress who's been made really big from House of Dragon. So I'm really fucking stoked for that because I love Millie Alec. Or
Oh,
sorry,
okay, cool.
Alcock.
But I just don't want them to get discouraged if, say, this doesn't make $1 billion, because this probably won't, because the
Mhm.
internet is already doing what the internet does. So regardless, and that's the other thing too,
Yes,
is
they
you
do.
can't let the internet dictate what you're going to do. You have a plan, at least stick to it for, I don't know, what, 2-3 movies before you make a decision, because the internet's already trying to
Agreed.
do what it does with this film. And I'm getting sick of seeing it, because there's nothing wrong with this trailer. There's nothing wrong with this actor. There's
It
nothing
looks
wrong.
pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong that I'm seeing here. So why people now, like the biggest thing that I see is now people are trying to justify Zack Snyder's vision. Like if you cared that much about it, then you should have shut the fuck up when he was doing it.
Thank you,
Right?
Luke, because that's what I want. That's what I really wanted to get
Mhm.
into. Because
Please,
of
go
course
ahead.
we
Go ahead.
have people hating on the trailer for multiple reasons, talking not my Superman. Okay, look, if you miss Henry, that's fine. Me and Morgan just blatantly said we miss Henry. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm not that big into Superman either. But it was Zack Snyder that made me a Superman fan. I'm not gonna lie. So I
Like
gotta give credit where
I'm
credit's
a
due.
massive Man of Steel fan. I
Yeah,
loved
same.
Man of Steel. Like I grew up with Superman and watching the OG Superman stuff with my dad on the TV. And like though I enjoyed it, like Man of Steel is what got me into Superman.
Yeah.
Same.
So
Mhm.
you know,
And of
I
course-
do wish it was Henry, but also David has some good chops on him. He's not a like brand new, super unknown character or sorry actor. David Cornsweet has proved himself as a decent actor in other franchises. So
I just like seeing some of the gripes and complaints, and it's just really nitpicky. It's just a bunch of bullshit because it's on the internet and it's just what we do now. But like, we had our chance, guys. You could have
Yep.
you could have embraced the stuff while it was happening at the time, and Zack Snyder's still at the helm. But nobody did that. Everybody
look-
shit on everything. So to try and do this revisionist history bullshit, I'm not on board with it. And I'm glad we're talking about it, because I don't want it to be allowed. It's stupid. Like the same people that are bitching about this right now are the same people that our big wives, fucking Zack Snyder never got to finish his vision anyway.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like,
Like
Yep.
seriously, people, every day look for anything. Like they're complaining that Superman's hurt in the beginning. Like, okay, you don't know what the hell he was just fighting. They're complaining about the suit outfit. Like, didn't you guys complain when Zack Snyder didn't have the trunks, and now you guys are complaining? Like, now you're saying it's a step down.
Right.
What do you people fucking want? You know, this actually
sadly,
reminds me again.
it's a big thing of like you're never gonna please everybody. But it's just it's sad to see that the people that weren't pleased before, now you're giving them what they wanted, and now they're
And now
not
they're not
pleased
happy.
again.
Yeah,
Right.
this reminds me of what happened with Star Wars in the fucking sequel trilogy. Everyone agreed that the prequels were bad. I mean, Morgan, I know you still like them but I just hate the people who
I like them.
hated the
I do
prequels,
too.
but then the new ones came out. Now they start saying the prequels were good or better. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And the same thing's happening. A trailer came out. Not the movie, a trailer. And all of a sudden everyone's talking about, oh, Man of Steel was better. This is
You
gonna be
know-
like, where the fuck were you in 2013 when certain people like me and Angry Joe were defending this movie, who were saying this isn't so bad, or you guys gotta quit complaining because it was the take on super. You know what? I can't stand fandom sometimes. I really can't. I can't stand Superman's right now. I can never stand Star Wars. I hate my heroes. JJK gets on my nerves, and Dragon Ball Z, if I'm being real. So many fandoms.
No, they're
get
annoying me
on
right
my
now with Diamond.
nerves.
They're getting on my nerves with Diamond too. The shit. But that's why, like, I just want to make sure that we're prepared for this. And James Gunn and whoever else is over there doesn't fucking push the panic button when this comes out if it doesn't make as much as they probably want it to. Like, just relax. I don't know what kind of black magic Marvel has on their shit to where they fucking made billions of dollars for however many movies back to back to back. But like, the odds of that happening are pretty fucking astronomical. So just make your fucking movies, be content with where you're at, and if they're good, then they'll take care of themselves. But don't put out a good movie, which honestly, this trailer does look like it's going to be a good movie, and allow the vocal minority fuck everything up like they have a tendency to do. Just hang on for a second. Unless it's Sony, you can bash the Sony movies. You can say whatever you want about those. That's fine.
For anybody who is confused by why Dreaded has suddenly fallen silent, he has lost internet. He is reconnecting as it's rebooting right now. But
I thought that was you because you're the one that's looking a little fuzzy.
No. I look at it on my end. Yeah, it's all him, man.
Why does it pick his server? Get the fuck out of here. It needs to pick one of ours.
But while we have a frozen Dreaded, cameras might get screwed up, but that it is what it is. It's no big deal because we're getting Dreaded back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll fix.
But
that's all I have to say on fucking Superman.
I mean to stay a bit onto like the Superman bit though, or just like movies and like obviously how people just in general how people judge films. I am the first one to say that I have problems with movie trailers right now. Like trailers that like nowadays suck ass. They show way too much. It's been a gripe I've had for ages, and that I mean all three of us have shared. And what a lot of people got to realize is you cannot judge a whole film by 2 minutes. A 2-minute preview compared to like a 2-hour plus film.
Yep.
And we're messed up because he's gone. But
that's
okay. It's fine. Yeah, the whole thing I have to say about that is welcome back, buddy.
I'm back.
What I have to say though is, in regards to people who are hating on films is like, stop judging films off of a 2-minute trailer, even if the trailer shows too much, because you're seeing the earliest done footage. You are not like there is still so much done. Sometimes a movie completely changes from what you see in the previews and in the trailers to what the final product is because of how early they get these trailers out. So people just gotta chill the F out in general. And you spent $5-10, wasted 2.5 hours of your day. Sorry, like at least you went to find out if you liked it or not.
Well, I think we need to really reevaluate just how fucking lucky we have been and just kind of spoiled with some of the superhero movies that have come out, the Logans, the Deadpools, the Man of Steels, the Dark Knights, the Spider-Mans, all this shit. Like, but not everything needs to be like that. Okay? Yes, we don't want to make Madam Webs and fucking Morbiuses, but like not everything is going to be Infinity War. Just calm down. Right. And they're also two different properties too. The whole point of this is supposed to be like capturing the essence of what the comic and the characters are. That's really what we should be judging these on if we're really going to do it. Man of Steel, Superman Returns. I think they nailed it in their own ways, but it's just one of those things where like you just can't fucking please anybody. Or everybody. So just, understand that. But if you've got a vision, stick with it. Don't fucking go, oh, it's getting bashed online. But who's actually bashing it though? That's the thing. Like you got to understand that the people that like it probably aren't going on the internet talking about it. We're instead telling. I mean, we do it, but there's a lot more negativity on the internet than there is positivity. So really understand that, especially with the stuff that they're saying that now Snyder's stuff was good. Well, then you got to throw that shit out because it's the same people that said it was bad.
Exactly. So I don't want to hear no one. It reminds me also when fucking Andrew Garfield came back for No Way Home. Because think about it, not everyone loved Andrew Garfield.
Oh, now we love him.
Oh yeah, and I was like, fuck all of you because I had loved him since I saw that first movie.
I love the Amazing Spider-Man films. I love the backstory my favorite part of it is literally the backstory we get on Peter's parents.
Well, okay, so but
that'll divulge us into a deeper.
Right. So, but that's what I'm saying is you also got to understand that Snyder's vision and what he was doing came out at the time when everything needed to be a gritty, fucking grounded reboot anyway. That's why that whole shit is dark. That's why the Amazing Spider-Man is more on the dark side because that's just what the trend was. Okay, so we should probably move past that because not everything can pull that off. And not everything needs it.
Sure. I will say, I think a darker, like a grittier take on Superman was, in my opinion, good because the reason I never liked Superman is because he felt too Boy Scout is goody two shoes way, and I just
find that too cheesy.
Boring. Yeah, that's just kind of boring. It's the same reason why for the longest time I didn't like Captain America until I watched Winter Soldier. Then it's like,
sure. Then you got more depth to the character.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
exactly. You explore something a bit new to him, and then it gave me a bit more respect for him. And it even got me to look at like, okay, so what's other Superman like?
Well, that's like when we see Superman face off against like Zod and everything. That's some of my favorite stuff because that's actually a difficult battle, a really difficult time for Superman, and I love the dynamics we get during those battles because with Zod specifically because it is a more darker side. You don't get to see Superman really fail a whole lot,
Also,
especially if you grew up watching the shows because those
I
are
will
even
also
cheesier.
I will also say this big time as well. For everyone who complains that Superman let way too many people die, like, first of all, there are reasons why things go into the way. People say he should have gone to Metropolis to take out that world changing engine. Like, y'all saw that he was not really winning a 2v1 against what's her face and that random dude. He had way more Kryptonians in Metropolis. How is he gonna win that one mysteriously?
Yeah.
And also, like, you're fighting Kryptonians who know what they're doing. Superman's still new at this, so please shut up. And also, as much as I do like to say people, like, even when, spoilers for Spider-Man 2, the game, this has been a minute now. When we thought that lady was going to die on the roller coaster, yes, I was feeling some type of way, and I was really happy we saved her. But, y'all, I also accept that, hey, sometimes not everyone can make it out. Hell, even Spider-Man, a movie about Spider-Man itself taught us that. And it's the best one.
Yeah, but I get the gripe of I think there's a balance there. Like we can have a dark Superman and not have him not be Superman. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Which is kind of the gripe that they have with Man of Steel. I'm not that far into Superman lore and shit like that to make that argument. I like the Man of Steel for the reasons that people don't like it, but I get it. So that's why I'm saying like this playing with the Christopher Reeves theme and everything else. It just seems like he's trying to strike that balance, and it looks like he may have done that. We gotta wait for the movie to come out and see, because who the fuck would have thought like Crypto would be a good idea and fucking Mr. Terrific and all this other shit? But like James Gunn has a way. He knows what he's doing. So we'll see when it comes out. But I don't think by any stretch of the imagination it deserves any of the hate that it's getting. And fuck you if your biggest complaint is that it's not the Snyder version, because we had our chance. Where the fuck were you?
And you blew it.
Yeah.
Like, all you're complaining and all that bullshit. So,
all you're doing is trolling. It's not cool. I'm getting annoyed with it because I'm getting it on everything. I'm getting it on this. I'm getting it on Dragon Ball. I'm getting it on fucking Linkin Park. Like, I get it on everything. Just chill out. I've had enough. Calm down. Things change.
Yep. All right. I think we talked enough about the Superman trailer. Let's get into our boy.
Your boy.
Fine, be that way.
Wow. Jeez. So, everybody, we're diving into our movie review of the night, which is highlighting Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This is the version where we get to finally meet Shadow. But before we dive into our actual thoughts and reviews of it, real quick, as we always do, let's discuss budget and box office, because it's dominating in box office right now. But the budget for this film is $122 million. It is 110 minutes long. But if we dive into our box office, so first things first, in the United States and Canada, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was released alongside Mufasa the Lion King and was initially projected to gross 55 to 60 million from 3,800 theaters. The film made 6.5 million from Thursday night previews, setting a record for the Sonic franchise. On Friday, the film grossed 25.7 million, which is a slight decrease from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That one actually made 26.3 million on its Friday opening night. The film then went on to gross 60.1 million during the 3-day opening weekend, topping the box office and achieving the second highest weekend debut for a PG film in December, behind 2005's The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion King, The Witch, and the Wardrobe. That actually debuted at 65.6 million. So, that's pretty impressive. In its second weekend, though, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 retained the top spot of the box office with another 37 million. So, as of December 29th, 2024, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has grossed $136.6 million in the United States and Canada, and another 74 million in other territories, making a worldwide total of $210.6 million so far.
Hey, let's go. Take that, Mufasa, you bitch.
I mean, did we really think Mufasa stood a chance, though?
No,
I'm
not
just
against this
glad-
one.
I'm just glad because shit happens sometimes.
Yeah, so real
Yeah,
quick,
the-
overall box office. So finishing office numbers for number 1. So for the first Sonic film was 320 million. Sonic 2 had 405.4 million, and we're already over halfway to what the second one made when it left theaters. So we'll see how it keeps going.
Keep going.
So how'd you feel about it?
I liked it.
I had so much fun. I had a good time.
What about you, man?
This movie is better than it has any right to be.
Fascinating.
I'm just being honest.
Saw
Like,
it twice. Oh, okay. Ram saw it twice.
Nice.
I'm gonna tell you. Listen, when I saw this in theaters, when Sonic and Shadow do the Sonic Adventures 2 logo in the air, somebody, I'm not even kidding, grown ass man in my theater got up and just shouted at the top of his lungs in excitement when that happened. Like, he lost his fucking mind. And when that happened, I went, yeah, okay, like this, I get it. This movie's really good. Using the fucking Live and Learn song was cool. I would have used it in a different spot though, you know.
That's fair. That's
But
fair.
I appreciate that they used it. I'm still pissed I haven't gotten a Green Hill fucking remix. I never get that in there. That is the fucking iconic song of Sega and Sonic. So yeah, no, this movie is way better than it has any right to be. My only beef is Shadow, honestly, but that's not anything. He doesn't do anything wrong in the movie. There's nothing wrong with him. He looks great. The CGI in this movie is probably is about as top notch as I think you could get. I think everything looks amazing in this movie.
Yeah, you can tell the progression for the CG with each film.
Yes, honestly, and I really like that the humans take a back seat besides Jim Carrey. Honestly, I really didn't want more of Tom and the wife and the shit like that, because their segments, particularly in the last one, are the ones that I have the biggest issue with. Like, the whole wedding thing is hilarious, but it feels like a completely different movie going on inside my Sonic movie.
That's
so
fair.
I like that they kept the humans very, very small.
I have to agree with that.
Shadow's whole backstory and why he's doing what he's doing was a little weak for me, but it's a fucking kid's Sonic movie, so I'm not gonna hold it against it too much.
I think there could have been more weight there. Like,
I just don't understand the point of the daughter and Dr. Robotnik's dad and stuff. It kind of gets a little muddy there by the end, especially when Dr. Robotnik is with the dad character. It really, they don't ever bring up the daughter too much. Like, isn't that his sister now? So like,
Cousin.
that's
cousin,
his cousin.
is that what it is?
That's his granddaughter, as he is also his grandson. So we don't know anything about the sister, like whoever his daughter was.
We don't know anything about either of their parents.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
So hang on a second.
Or if they were actually siblings, were they siblings?
Murray and Eggman.
Yeah.
No, because
they're
Eggman.
cousins.
No, unless they
Eggman-
changed it for the movie.
No, they're not.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
I'm not sure about that whole dynamic. So that's the only thing that kind of was weird to me, because like, it's very much an integral part of the story, but Dr. Robotnik and old Robotnik don't ever really talk about it. You know what I mean?
Tell
He
you
brings
what,
it up
though.
one time, as far as I remember, but they don't
Yeah.
actually go like, "Hey, this is your family" type of thing. And
Yeah, they don't go into depth with it.
no, they don't. So that's the only thing that kind of bummed me out about the story, is like, if it's not Shadow and old Robotnik, it really doesn't matter. What else? Like I said, everything else was pretty good. The action is nice. I like that Shadow did use a gun. That was pretty cool.
Hey, I want to talk about the references, because my boy Shadow was not only on a motorcycle, also picked up a goddamn Glock. I was like, yes, thank God.
I got
one wish of two happened. I mean, the other one didn't happen, but I'll take one I can get.
I got to see a big budget Akira slide. That was sick.
Yeah, that was dope.
That's very true.
I mean,
I want to say
Keanu did great. I really like Keanu. I think Keanu did a fantastic job with the voice.
It didn't have to be Keanu. Like, I'm happy that it's Keanu, but it didn't have to be Keanu.
No, but I do like what he did with it, though.
What does he do with it? He's Keanu, just voicing Shadow. I don't think, to me, to me, I don't think Keanu goes into a role and does anything really different in anything. It's just Keanu playing that character. But he's not like a Willem Dafoe or like a fucking Edward Norton or anybody else that like, I don't know. You know what I mean? His performances are still just him, just kind of different, like in like a different shirt, essentially. That's what I'm saying. Like anybody could have played Shadow. It didn't have to be Keanu Reeves.
I don't mind it. But I kind of agree. Like, yeah, sure. Keanu, nothing too special, but nothing bad.
Right. Like he still did good. Idris Elba is doing a performance.
Mm-hmm.
He is doing a performance. Ben Schwartz is doing a performance. Keanu Reeves is just doing Keanu Reeves.
I'm gonna be honest though.
Shaq Hennessy.
I just want to say right now, my favorite Knuckles moment every time, even in the trailer, is when Sonic, they're all tied up and they're trying to talk to their
Tom and Maddie.
Yeah, Tom and Maddie, and he's like, Knuckles to me. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why I love that Knuckles moment so much.
Knuckles is definitely, in my opinion, the funniest character in this movie. And that's saying a lot considering we have Jim Carrey playing two people.
Honestly,
no, he is
Jim Carrey did great acting with himself.
That dance sequence, though.
Well, and I love it because how they have this dynamic is like they kind of have it is like almost like they're looking in a mirror, and that like kind of like theme for Eggman and his grandfather, but also as Jim Carrey acting against himself, and also like because they're just doing double filming and splitting it and adding them in. Like there are a few moments where they might have maybe a stand-in, but like the way that filmmaking wise, they're doing a lot of like filming in the exact same spot. Jim Carrey's doing his acting on one side, and then they re-roll, they hit record again, and he flips into the other costume and does it on the other side. So he does really, really good.
I agree. I agree. The fourth wall break was funny as hell. But I still stand by Knuckles was the funniest character. Just was his fish out of water lines. How kind of hot-headed he can be. And although I gotta show love to Tails too, because I love Tails always too.
Tails is just always the most level-headed one of them all. Always.
Absolutely. And I actually do like that Sonic's arc in this film. I like Sonic's arc in this movie about just kind of slowing down, actually, like not being so brash and ready to go all in all the time. Like, hey, take a step back, and also let's not let vengeance consume you too much, which I'll get into more of that later as well.
Mm-hmm.
And plot-wise, I mean, the plot is exactly what we thought it was in the trailer. And if you played Sonic Adventure 2, you're going to recognize a lot. And also, if you played Shadow the Hedgehog, because there is some new stuff going on here with Shadow that was very, very different. Not the guns, the origin.
Yeah, how'd you feel about it?
Well, if they go in that direction, I'm going to be happy. Because I admit, objectively, Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, has a lot of problems. But I have the biggest soft spot for that game, because that is my childhood right there. So if they're setting up the Black Arms, because that what they explain in the movie is not exactly Shadow's actual backstory. Like they switched some stuff around big time. So maybe that could be a thing in the future.
I'm very curious to see where they go with this too, just based off the ending. So that'll be pretty cool to see. But I haven't played Sonic Adventure 2 or Shadow, so I mean I don't have the knowledge that you do, but I mean some things did feel familiar. I love the fact that they go to the Chow Garden when they're in Japan. That shit was hilarious.
That was so good.
Pikachu.
That was one of the things that Dan, my husband, said that he was really sad about, was the fact that they weren't real and they were just like people in costumes or like animatronics and stuff.
Oh wait, I also want to give big time shout out to Agent Stone, the other best human character in the series, aka Eggman's boyfriend.
Be honest,
his arc is a lot of fun.
I have loved the progression of Agent Stone. With each movie, his character has gotten better.
Agent Stone is just low key one of the best characters.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I love him and Tails together,
more, but like. I do. This is probably the peak for them. I think this is the everything is built to this moment for all their characters.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting if they keep them around for the next ones and what they do next with these.
Honestly,
with
all I want is more Agent Stone and Tails together.
Mm.
Like their banter their literal banter about their struggles with their team, but also him learning what to Tails, like what Team Sonic is, you know what I mean? Like compared to like what him and Eggman currently were at that moment. That whole dynamic was adorable. He's like, wait, you actually like are friends? And he's like, yeah, we're best friends. He's like, oh, I don't know. I loved that so much. I was literally for a while of the movie just wanting. I was like, please, let's get back to Stone and Tails. I want more.
I love the callback to the latte with steamed Austrian goat milk. I love the way they make them.
I would give Tails and Agent Stone a 15-minute short series where he's back at the Mean Bean Machine.
I just like a little chat with him. You give me a mini series that's like 10 episodes long, they're all 5 minutes each, and they're just meeting up for like coffee or something, and it's just like a little therapy session amongst two friends. Like what happened this time?
I would do that shit.
Dr. Tails,
I would love that shit so much.
That'll be a nice little bridge between 3 and 4.
Yes. Yes.
Now, also, I want to bring up Luke. This is another case of closest we're gonna get to a good live action Dragon Ball fight,
dude. Oh my god,
man, that was lit, bro. Sonic was mad. That dude went super, flew into space, crashed into the Eclipse cannon, and just tackled Shadow. Get your ass over here! And then Shadow was still boxing this fool.
Can I also just
go ahead?
I'm sorry. Because you brought up the moon and shit. If there's a 4, we gotta address the shit with the moon, because the Earth is fucked with what happened to the moon.
Yeah. The games don't do that either, because that's a reference to Sonic Adventure 2.
I don't care. The Earth is fucked with what happened to the moon.
Like, yeah, look, I agree with Morgan. I can accept a lot with these movies, okay? I can accept that there's a fucking blue hedgehog that runs at the speed of light. I can accept that there's a fucking echidna that's got fucking fists and is red. Like I can accept all of this. But when you cut the moon in half, like, we gotta talk. We have to talk. That is gonna end up being their Batman flying off with a nuke and somehow walking away. Like, what the fuck does this mean for the future? How are we just gonna ignore this? But you're right. I know they're going to. I know they're just gonna ignore it. It is what it is.
Let's just assume they use the Master Emerald to fix it, because that's what I'm gonna assume in the game universe too.
If that's a throwaway line, I'll accept it. If they just went, we used it and we fixed it. Good thing we used the emerald to fix the moon, huh? I'm like, all right, cool.
They better give me that line though. Like.
Yeah, because there's limits. There's limits to my suspension of disbelief.
Thank you, Luke. I feel vindicated right now.
So far, everything about this has been aces. Like, seriously, the first one had never had any right to be that good, especially even with the redesign. 2 is very good. This is my favorite. I'm just gonna say it right now. This is my favorite.
I like this one better than 2. I have to rewatch 1. It's a toss up for me between 1 and 3 for which one's the best.
Yeah, so we're doing good. Do not give me a reason to start hating on these movies. Don't do it. So just a little something to tell me you fixed the moon. Like, that's it.
I also want to bring up because the internet has also brought up that legendary dap between Sonic and Shadow. Dap each other up, go super form, live and learn plays. That's all awesome. That is so. Oh,
honestly,
grown men.
Yeah,
we're losing their minds. Like, the only equivalent for me, dude, is if I actually get a Dragon Ball movie. Like, that might be me. But I was like, holy shit. Like, I mean, yeah, but all right, I get it. I'm just throwing my hands up on this one. I understand.
I was looking at Raven like,
yeah,
I know. I was looking at Dan. I had to say, like, Dan and I tried not to like have someone right like on us and next to us when we're in the theaters if we can, but we had no choice because it was just so packed. I love whoever the hell I was sitting next to. They were like around our ages, you know, within our age span, and it was just so great because like even when the credits were rolling, like we were both, because I'm a bigger Sonic fan than Dan is, we were both singing the song together, and I was just like, they got up and left. I'm like, wait, no, I want to be your friend. Because like they were kind of like you, Luke, like obviously not as like energized as that man that you had in your theater, but he was just like, what? Yes. And I was like, but I was also like, yes, right next to him. So it was good.
Dude, hold up, it's a little detail that I'm so happy the movie did, because Super Shadow's color scheme is like grayer than Sonic's. I love that the movie took the time. Like, oh wait, Sonic was like always gold. Shadows is like kind of different yellow. Like, oh, they did that. They really did their homework with that too. They did not have to go that hard with that.
Yeah, dude. The amount of fucking care and time that's being put into these movies, like, I hope this is because, sometimes the internet is very good. And when we got that redesign, that is the internet being very, very good. So maybe they took that lesson and were like, look, we can't fucking bullshit these people. Like, they know they're ready to go. Guns are out. They're going to be on us, man. But this is like, I want to give more compliments to like the human characters, but they don't really do a whole lot, which I'm cool with because I am a big fan of the fact that in 2, I got more video game-esque stuff, like with the whole labyrinth spot and the ending of the movie. I'm glad they're doing it here too. Like, lean more into the games, make it feel more like the game. I'm pretty sure at one point Sonic is bouncing around a city and they have it designed like one of the levels, if I remember correctly. I like that because that's kind of the Sonic movie that I want to see. I want to see him being running over terrain that looks more like the games. I got that originally in the first, and then since he's been on Earth, I haven't really gotten that a lot. So it was nice to see in the last one and more so in this one, then lean more into the video game designs for the movie.
Yeah. Now, as much as I do like this movie a lot, I did unfortunately have 2. Wait, hold on. I was hoping to see the Bio Lizard. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that actually because I have 2 issues with this movie, and they are kind of big. That did drag it down a tad bit for me.
Okay.
First thing, Morgan. Well, actually, all of us we have talked about with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that we kind of wish it wasn't such a kids movie.
Yes, 100%.
Correct.
That is a big thing. It also goes into the next thing I was going to say because 1, it paces itself like a kid's movie, which I'm like, oh, damn, I feel like they need to take their time with some stuff. Some of the lessons feel a little childish, like in a way. Like it's a good lesson, but it's handled in a way that's like
it's almost too gentle.
Yeah, especially with a character like Shadow and like I'm getting into it too. So the fact that it still feels too bit much like a kid's movie does bother me. But here's the big reason why I think this movie kind of goes down for me is they half-assed.
You don't get the hydrate anymore.
They half-assed the darkness in the story of Shadow. Because I'm going to be real, what makes Shadow a great character and what makes Sonic Adventure 2 a great story is that tale of Shadow, actually. Because I love Shadow in this movie, but I definitely feel like they held back. And I noticed it definitely when they changed the backstory and they changed how a lot of stuff went. Because the original story of why Shadow even exists is dark. Are we going to school? Should I educate on what the OG story was?
I can pass the baton to a substitute teacher.
Substitute, yeah!
I'm going to get something for me to hydrate with, but please, class may be in session.
Well, he doesn't know the story, so I might actually wait for him because if he didn't play Sonic Adventure 2, he might not know what I'm getting into, honestly, though. But before I get into that, Morgan, anything you have to say about maybe some negatives?
Some was there any... He said hi before.
Mm-hmm.
Question, Levy. Was there any negatives that we had for Sonic 3 when we had our discussion?
I
think they're thinking.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure I wasn't forgetting things. Honestly, I guess my biggest negative I have, and I knew it wouldn't be as dark as I wanted to be, and I sound like a broken record with almost any kids movie we watch. I want it to be darker.
Yeah.
With Sonic, there's always been such a like heavy depth to him. And it was almost just kind of like just under the surface level where I really wanted to like get more chance to hit it more at its core. We had times where like they kind of got there, but then they pull. It's like they're like, and that's enough. The toe's in far enough because I think with it being a child's movie, I do wish that like filmmakers and studios now would realize, okay, yeah, sure, like this was originally meant for kids, but I would love it if they made films for the kids that grew up with it.
Yeah.
Like make it for me, like I grew up with this. Dram says, I mean, to be honest, they'd be getting a lot of trouble if they
showed Shadow's OG story because of what happened with Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's what made that story so good. Okay,
Really?
look, you're back. I didn't tell it yet because since you didn't play Sonic Adventures 2, I wanted to give the lesson while you were here. So Shadow's original story was 50 years ago. That's accurate. Gerald Robotnik was approached by Gunn to find the secrets to immortality, which initially he said no to because he'd feel like he's playing God, and Gunn would try to make a super weapon out of it. But so also in the original storyline, Maria had an illness. I forgot exactly what it was, but it's something that the reason she lived in space on the space colony Ark. Also difference. The Eclipse canon exists in this movie, but not the Ark, because in the original storyline, the Ark and the Eclipse canon were one, actually. And also the Ark is like a space station that people can live on and stuff like that, where people did research and everything like that. Anyway, Robotnik decided to take the project in order to hopefully find a cure for Maria, actually. So he went through a lot of trial and error and stuff like that. There's a lot to this, but eventually it came down to he created Shadow, the ultimate life form. And one very important thing about Shadow was, since he created him, he based Shadow's soul off of Maria, actually. But when Gunn got word of some of the other aspects of Project Shadow, like this other creation called the Bio Lizard and like Perfect Chaos and everything like that, they decided, okay, you know what? We need to shut this down. This cannot get out. So they send soldiers up and say, kill everyone, but bring us Gerald and Shadow. So they get to the Ark, they massacre everyone. Like in the movie, Maria died because her soldiers shot some tanks that caused an explosion. She died. No, they shot Maria. Like Dad has shot her, and they still managed to sort of escape. But Maria put Shadow in an escape pod, and her last wish was to protect humanity, actually, because it was like her hope and everything. Sent him away, but eventually Shadow was captured and put in stasis for 50 years, which is like what we saw in the movie. They got Gerald, and initially Gerald thought Maria might have survived if they found Shadow, but then eventually he learned that Maria died, and that's when he went mad. So he decided to go with a plan where he would manipulate Shadow's memories and say, hey, Maria actually wanted you to take a revenge against humanity, actually, and came up with this plan where if certain things went down, like Shadow being discovered, I forgot exactly everything, a plan would happen where the space colony Ark was going to crash into the Earth and destroy everyone for revenge for what happened to Maria. And then eventually Gerald was executed by firing squad, actually. So Eggman and Gerald actually never met. Okay, but then in Sonic Adventure 2, do their adventure and everything like that, Shadow would eventually remember what Maria's OG wish was after a discussion he has with Amy, actually.
So these are definitely kids' movies. So
yeah, but the big thing about that is that dark story is kind of what made Sonic Adventure 2 such a good story, and like Shadow's resolve in like a lot of stuff about him actually also had that point as well. So when they took all that away, I felt that Shadow's character wasn't as amazing. Like I still like him, but like my nostalgia talks and like for what they do in the movie, it's fine. But it held back from, in my opinion, what makes him such an amazing character, in my opinion.
Time out. So you're telling me you got a watered down version of one of your favorite characters and you didn't like it?
I didn't say I hated it or nothing like that. I just thought they could have gone better. Now you could have loved it more.
It's weird when that happens.
Yeah, whatever.
But I feel the same. But like my biggest gripe, like I said, isn't so much with. I mean, I get that, but also with that being said, it just goes more to like for me where I don't need Keanu Reeves to voice this character. I don't think he really brings anything to Shadow. Shadow is cool just because Shadow is cool, not because Keanu Reeves is voicing him. And that I like too is that he is still cool in this movie. They your backstory, like you just said, is watered down, but everything else about him, he still does the things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's true. And also, going back to the origin of Shadow, because they find him in a meteorite, like, I wonder if the Black Arms exist out there. I mean, they already said that the Sonic crew are aliens already, so I guess more aliens could exist out there.
Planet Mobius, right?
Oh, there's also another part of his backstory where Black Doom, the antagonist of Shadow the Hedgehog, had a hand in creating Shadow, which actually someone came up with an interesting theory that's why, if Shadow was based off of a hedgehog, maybe even Sonic's race, who knows? Maybe that's why he's black and red, because, black arms, like black and red is kind of a trademark with them. I was like, oh, he might be onto something there.
Well, we'll see what happens in 4, because I mean, they're definitely making another one. Whether or not Jim Carrey continues to grace us with Robotnik performances aside, they definitely are going to keep making these movies.
Oh, especially with the post-credit scenes we got.
Yeah, this is gonna go until literally the wheels fall off. Until Sonic can't run anymore, they'll probably keep pumping these out.
Probably.
Seriously.
I've been trying to think what game story they might go with what that ending was.
CD.
Most likely. I wonder.
Honestly, CD would be cool if anybody's played Sonic CD. There's a time travel aspect to that too. Like that'd be cool. We'll see.
Heard the director wants to make 25. Damn.
Well, I mean, you could. There's a lot of lore, dude. These are just video game references that we're doing too. Like, imagine if we read the comics. Like, holy shit.
Right, for sure.
That too. So, keep them coming. Just keep making them good. Also, who do you guys? Should we spoil it by now? Because I want to ask this question about the ending.
I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? It's been some time. We can spoil this. Because Metal Sonic and Amy Rose make a cameo appearance at the mid-credit scene. Not voice, though. But typically Metal Sonic does have a voice sometimes. And we definitely know Amy does. So if we could fan cast, who would we get for Metal Sonic and Amy? Well, I don't even know about Metal Sonic. I guess anyone can do that. We get James Spader to do it again for all I care.
Nobody. Keep him silent. I'd be cool with that.
Sorry, I'm trying to think what they sound like.
As far as Amy is concerned, honestly, I'm going to stick with the same thing that I just said about Shadow. I don't need a big name to do it, especially if they're just going to... It sounds more harsh than it should be, because I like that Keanu Reeves is in the film, and I do like what he does for Shadow, but he's not like Idris Elba is doing a performance. Shaughnessy is doing a performance. Schwartz is doing a performance. Keanu Reeves just doing Keanu Reeves. Like, who does Amy Rose in the games? Just let her do it.
There's 3 or 4 different actresses for her.
I mean, they can get Colleen Oshak Hennessy to do it for Tails, and I guess they can get Amy's voice actress again.
Yeah, give her a little bit of give her a boost. These movies make all the monies. Give her a boost and let her do both. Why not?
I can also still see them wanting to get someone big name.
I can see why they wouldn't want to get anybody a big name, because that's just more money. But at the same time, I think that the voice actors and actresses that do this shit for the animes, the cartoons, and the games, they deserve a little bit of love too. Like, fuck. We don't have to keep throwing it to Chris Pratt's and everybody else.
I will also say, director, please take a little inspiration from Amy from the Sonic Boom cartoon, because OG Amy is kind of annoying. Let me do another comparison. Do what they did for Princess Peach in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, because I never liked Peach, but I like Peach in that movie.
See, that is an instance where I'm okay, because I don't think Peach really has a distinctive voice that we're like, oh my god, we love that voice. It has to be that way. You think about Mario and Luigi's voice. You don't think about Peach's voice. So getting Anya Taylor-Joy to do that, that's fine. I think Amy Rose in the lore of Sonic has done quite a few things and might actually have a distinct voice. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that might be a little bit different.
There is a very specific voice that I'm always going to associate Amy with. But hey, there was also a voice for Knuckles that I got super used to, and then they cast Idris Elba, and that still worked out. So yeah,
but that's got to do with that performance thing. You know what I mean? That's my only gripe with there's only a couple gripes, and that's one of them. It's the fact that the human characters really aren't that interesting, but I love the fact that they don't have that much to do. And Keanu's performance as Shadow, because I don't really think he does anything spectacular. He's just being Keanu again. Like, all right.
Jack Black as Metal Sonic. Oh no, not again.
No.
No, not that. If anything, base Metal Sonic's voice off of how he sounded in Sonic Heroes.
You ever watch the OVA?
Think once I did. I just don't remember it that well.
Just do that.
That's
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't want him to have a voice. Just do nothing. Let him have no voice. He's a fucking robot and he's a killer. Just leave it like that.
I actually liked him with a voice, especially in Sonic Heroes, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And Amy, that hammer was awesome too.
I'm just waiting for this to get like overly cartoony or something, and then I can be like, okay, all right, I'm good.
Gotchas. Also, do you guys
Yeah,
think
and
they
I
should
think
do
it's
a
Keanu Reeves. I think Keanu Reeves is doing Shadow in that game too.
Not exactly. No, that's a DLC thing.
Yeah, but isn't it voiced by Keanu Reeves?
Just for that one DLC level, but in actuality, Shadow is being voiced by who the hell is voicing Shadow in that damn game?
I figured out. Sorry, I was looking at a couple options and listening to a couple of voices. I think for Amy Rose, honestly, and it might be a hot take, surprisingly, I think Anna Kendricks would be a really good voice for Amy Rose.
You know, I was thinking like if they got Amy, they would get someone within that range of female people to do it.
Yeah, like they need a little bit more of someone who can go into that like that higher kind of like I don't want to say squeak, but I don't have a better way of like putting it. And we know that she can voice act, so.
You know, I always find it funny. We always get teased. This is now the second time we got teased with a new character, no voice yet, and now we're all excited. Who are we gonna get to do it?
Yeah.
Remember when Hayden Christensen almost did Shadow? Well, we thought it was Hayden to do Shadow.
I mean,
I still would have been fine with it.
Same. You know what? If they ever adapt Silver the Hedgehog, call Hayden for that one at least.
Hayden for Silver.
Ooh.
Or, I mean, since he's basically Trunks, just fucking call Eric Vale.
Yeah.
Which I would not actually be mad at. I would not be mad at.
You know what? You're not lying though. When they do fight and they do use the emeralds, like it's just a big tease for me and not having a good Dragon Ball movie. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry,
they
man.
look good. They look good in the form too. They look so good. That CGI was on point. Everything looked great. It was a cool fight. Fuck the moon.
Goddamn moon, dude. I think that's my biggest gripe. My biggest negative of the whole film is the damn moon.
I can't get mad at that because that is literally what they did in the game. Eggman literally blew up part of the moon to just show his power. So
Hey, look, if the games want to ignore him, fine, but Morgan and I just need one throwaway line. That's it.
Yep.
So we can be like, by the way, your moon is still in 2 halves. What the fuck is going on here?
Like,
isn't all life on Earth now done?
We basically would probably be covered by we would turn into probably constant tsunamis, and our oceans would be fucked, and we would be buried by our oceans.
We are now Waterworld. Thanks,
Our
Sonic.
gravitational pull would also be fucked, and we'd probably end up I could school so much in science realm, but I'm not going to. But it literally, that happening to our moon would be literally at the end of our lives.
Yeah, it'd be bad news.
Goodbye, Earth.
Yeah,
we're probably being projected into the sun. So
Waterworld.
I mean, keep in mind that they blew the moon like twice in Dragon Ball, and they were fine.
It is the remake of Waterworld you didn't know you wanted.
All right, but that was actually all the negatives I had. Was just that they held back on Shadow's story, which I think holds back the movie. But other than that, it's still fun. It's enjoyable. It's funny. Knuckles is the funniest character, right next to Jim Carrey. But I think
I wanted more like time, like of Sonic, like growing and like having almost one-on-ones with Shadow with Team Sonic. Kind of like trying to like hit voice reason and try to like connect to him, because that is something that we end up seeing in the show. And obviously, like we do end up seeing like there being more camaraderie with Shadow and Team Sonic, And and that's something I loved, even though like the dynamics were very different when Shadow was around. I kind of loved that kind of like edgelord presence he brought to the group, and that's something we might get him for, because you don't really know what happened to Sonic to Shadow until you end up seeing him pick up his stuff in the post-credit scene. So
yeah, which wasn't a surprise because it
Nah.
turns out Shadow survived in the games too.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I actually like that Shadow had edgelordy lines, but it doesn't seem to be going full on, because Shadow isn't always just a
Agreed.
complete edgelord.
He's
But
really
like
intelligent too. Like
Yeah.
I do actually like how he toys with people. Like how Rant mentioned, like the whole scary scene with Shadow killed them. Like Shadow
Oh, yeah.
Shadow was toying with them like crazy.
I forgot about that part. That was great. This is why Knuckles the Flames character. That man was scared of Casper the Friendly Ghost.
See, that was my favorite scene.
That was funny
There
as
is
hell.
no such thing as a friendly ghost.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Oh shit! What was I about to say? Oh yeah. I also like that this movie kind of made it a point to show, like, okay, Shadow had his edgy stuff, but by the end of it, it looks like they're gonna go in a different direction with how he is cool with Sonic and crew. Because, like, okay, I like that. I like that it doesn't seem like they're not gonna go with what I think they did wrong in Shadow the Hedgehog, and that Shadow just thinks himself better than Sonic all the time and everything.
Yeah,
like
but that
they're
is
on
in there
equal-
though.
Yeah, but not so strongly, because in Sonic Adventure 2, even he would admit that everybody, and like, shit, Sonic might actually be the real ultimate life form. Like, damn, that boy got some aura.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, fun ass movie. I really liked it. I was so happy it
It was
came
really
out.
fun. It was a good time. I
This is
really enjoyed myself.
my favorite of the three. Like, without a doubt, this is my favorite of the three. And they're all good. They're all the first one. They're all better than they have any right to be. You never would have made me believe in a million years that Sonic films would be really, really good, but they are. They got a lot of heart. The action's pretty good. I love that they're not fucking around with the CGI anymore, because we almost had a disaster. Because they tried to make this a throwaway movie. They did. And we were like, nah, fuck that. You need to show the blue blur some respect. And now here we are 2 movies later, and they genuinely seem to just keep getting better, honestly. But, you got to sacrifice a couple things, because at the end of the day, it's for the kids.
Sadly. But at least they're still good. At least
Thank
I
you
can
for
say
inner
they're
kid.
good.
Thank you.
And there is moments where there are grown men getting up and shouting at the top of their lungs when they see something on the screen. So you know what? The fact that we've been playing these games for 30 plus years, like myself, to however long you guys have been playing them with your Sonic Adventure 2s and Shadows, got a little bit of something in there for everybody. And this one, I think, pulls it off the best. I have my gripes with the first one, but it's more because the humans. We don't like the second one. We all agree. Not because the movie's bad, but just there's some shit in there that's like, okay, like I
like the second one, but it is my least favorite of the 3.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
like
the first section of the movie, and especially the wedding thing, feel like 2 totally disconnected things. Then by the time the movie ends with the giant robot and shit, like, yes, I'm fully on board. This one, to me, from start to finish, is the most well made and put together one, story wise and everything, from the time it starts to the time it ends.
I really like the second one, so I'm alone there, because I'm gonna say the first one's my least favorite, just because of, well, I mean, the second and third adapt more of the games. The first is still good. I mean, it was better than it had any right to be, but still.
Yeah. It's nice little intro.
Yeah,
I don't need the dance in the mountains with the fucking Russians or whatever the fuck they do on their little search there. I don't need that. That whole section I can live without in that movie, and I don't need the wedding stuff, because it just feels like a totally different movie.
The wedding actually made me laugh. I'll give it that.
Does
the
not,
dance in the Russian dance was just okay, whatever.
If that wedding sequence is its own like romantic comedy, I'm on board. That shit was funny. But like, Sonic's nowhere to be near any of that stuff until like that little segment ends, and that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, a way just to introduce Gun. Interesting way to do it, but I don't care. But you know what? The way I look at it is like each movie, they seem to keep learning a lesson. Like, okay, let's tone humans back even more, because even in that and Silent 2, like, all right, we still got some human stuff, but not as strong as I would say the first one. Because now we got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and Jim Carrey. So, which is the only people that they really wanted to see. So I say each movie they were learning their lesson. So I never got super mad at 2 because, like, okay, a lot more Sonic, a lot more game elements, a lot more of what we wanted from the first movie in this one. There's still some human stuff, but not so much that it feels overdoing it.
Yeah, I like that the main human stuff we get in 3, though, is Eggman and his grandfather, and less Tom and Maddie. Like, though I do love Tom and Maddie's characters, I think they're really fun, and I like their, like, kind of the support system they are for Team Sonic.
Your mom and dad.
Yeah, they are mom and dad. I love them. I adore them. They're super cute. I probably relate to them a lot because Dan and I are usually mom and dad of the friend group. But on the flip side, in this type of story and them being just normal ass humans, it makes more sense to see Eggman more than them. And I like that we got more Eggman than we did them.
Oh, also,
anything else?
Did we also really need the dance in this movie? I mean, it was funny, but did we need it?
No, but I guess that's just the formula now. There has to be a dance sequence in these movies.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But if Jim Carrey's doing it,
I think that's fine.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it with Jim Carrey for sure.
Like like in the first one, we pretends to ski and shit. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Hey, out of curiosity, which dance number did you guys like better? The one in the first one or this one?
This one.
This one.
I think the first one was funnier just because of how it ended. I like this one because I like the memes that came out of it. Like someone put Disturbia by Rihanna under it. I was like, damn, why does that work so good?
I do like Ramp did say in chat though that the scene with Wade helped really connect the Knuckles TV show, which I do agree. Like I do appreciate the connection they try to do there. Because before, like, if they didn't, it was one of those things, like how, you know, Luke and I are saying, oh, we want a one-off line to tell us why the moon is fixed or why the Earth is not dying because of the split moon, right? That's what that quick little blip, that little tiny scene with Wade is that for me with like the Knuckles TV show.
Gotcha.
There we go.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
maybe tonight. Maybe that's what I binge watch tonight.
It was a fun time. It wasn't amazing, but I had fun with it. I had fun.
It still has one of my favorite Knuckles lines ever. It is only 6 episodes and they're not hour long, so that's good too.
All right. Yeah. Shit. That might be my night.
There you go.
All right. Anything else pressing for you two?
No, go ahead, Luke. What was your rating?
No, I've said everything that I need to say.
No, what's your rating?
Well, you guys, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's
do this
break
right now?
glass.
Right here, right now?
Right here, right now.
I was about to give it a 9, but the more we talked about it, the more I'm gonna say it's a 8.5. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch the other ones because I feel like I gave the first one an 8. I can't remember what I gave the second one, but this one's definitely gonna be the highest rated, so I'm probably gonna have to change something. But this is the highest rated for me. This is my favorite one. It is all about Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. I love that. They give great performances with their characters. Knuckles was probably the funniest so far that he's been out of the movies. And yeah, I've said what I said about Keanu. His whole performance is what it is for me. But Shadow is that cool of a character that like it really doesn't matter. So it doesn't hurt the character or the movie. I just every time I hear him or I hear that voice coming out of that character, I'm just like, man, this literally could be anybody. That's really my only gripe. Oh, there's a couple things canonically speaking with Maria and all the like how the whole family dynamic thing works. But that's just me being nitpicky. And those are the only things that are keeping it from being a 9 or higher for me. But this is my favorite of the Sonics.
And so I'm right there with you, Luke. You know, there's some family dynamics I wish we got more of that or maybe more info. Maybe they're saving that for another film. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna see Eggman's mom one day. I don't know. But God, could you imagine Jim Carrey doing a mother version of himself?
Oh, God.
That would be horrendously fantastic. Anyway.
No,
I'm also right there at an 8.5 though. I really, really, really like this film. I had so much fucking fun with it. And I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen with 4.
I will say this right now. The games don't get into Eggman's family too, so we're probably never getting into that, honestly.
Damn.
Also,
They
I
tease it
just
a lot,
forgot the other fucking reason why Shadow was good in this. That man likes some Spanish soap operas. I forgot about that.
That was a nice little running segment, and that dude is the fucking bartender in Venom 3. So I was like, I know I've seen you before.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
That shit was hilarious, yeah.
Oh wow, it is him. Oh shit. Okay.
This is what he does after the fucking thing blows up and he gets out of that base. He goes and stars in novellas.
Okay. So I'm looking at my list of the 2024 movies. And I already saw where I put Sonic 3, but no, I'm gonna stick with what I said initially. So for me, Sonic 3 is going to be just a straight up 8 out of 10. Wait, hold on. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna stick with. Nope. Okay, 8, because I won't deny, like everything I'll talk about, like the fact that I feel the movie was kind of held back from what made Shadow's story, and Shadow is such an amazing character. Just holds it back a little bit, but it doesn't kill the movie. This movie is still great, so I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10. Solid movie. I mean, not solid, great, solid movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. That feels appropriate.
Yeah, it's not. And I also agree, yeah, probably this is my favorite of the Sonic movies so far, too.
Well, with that, everybody, this concludes our movie review of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Before we leave, though, we do want to remind you that if you head on over to our brand new store that is currently in its grand opening, you can use the code DACREW10 for 10% off your order. And that's the fun little stuff going on for the celebration of that grand opening. But with that also being said, we're going to let you know what we're reviewing next week. So next week, we will be live on Wednesday at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time here on Twitch and YouTube. So that's going to be Wednesday the 8th. We're going to be reviewing Nosferatu, one that Luke and I especially are very excited for. Because we are the vampire fans here.
I'm just saying, like, I love this movie. I've got that and more for the next one. Like,
I mean, shit,
you
like
guys are gonna listen to me talk a lot next week.
99% of Nosferatu are practical effects.
Hey.
I have a lot
And
to
no
say.
CGI was used on the lead Nosferatu, so it's gonna be a good discussion for sure.
All right, you guys.
With that being said, next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch and YouTube, we're reviewing Nosferatu. But on Wednesday, January 15th, we're getting into our annual movie wrap up. So we're going to be ranking all the movies we've seen that released in 2024 from worst to best, probably with me seeing the most movies out of the three of us as usual. It's fine. But yeah, we love doing our movie wrap up episode, and we cannot wait to wrap up 2024 officially on Wednesday the 15th by ranking all of the 2024 films we've seen, whether reviewed on the show or not. So yeah, it'll be a very good time. But that's our next 2 weeks, guys, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
All right. For now, we're going to say good night. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan. That's Luke. And that's Dreaded. And you can follow the Wannabes podcast on Facebook, Instagram,
Wherever he is.
and X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We're also, live over on YouTube. So go subscribe to us over there if you're not already, because it helps us unlock emotes for the people over there. And then you can also find us on Spotify to listen to the shows on the go and in your free time, maybe while cleaning the house, driving to and from work, who knows, but
Buy some fucking merch.
please buy our merch. We are so excited to have it available for you. For now, guys, we're going to call it a night here. We hope you have a fantastic one. And next time, don't forget the popcorn.
Stop doing it.
You can buy a
Stop
shirt for
it.
that.
We tell you
Or
every
socks.
week. Why do you keep doing it?
Bye, everyone.